Hello everyone, here we are again. This time we're going to go into Marjo's birth contract. And as you all know, Marjo's Dutch, and she does a really great job in trying to put it into her words in English, but occasionally, maybe during this video, as she shares her story, she might ask me to translate a particular word. So please don't be concerned about the translations, just listen to her journey, because her journey discovering her birth contract has also been a very magical one.
Yes, very different.
Oh yeah, and at least in my opinion. Of course I'm a little bit biased, but hey, I think it's a beautiful birth contract and a beautiful agreement that you made before you came to Earth. So I'll hand the word over to
Marjo.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a wonderful life, much experiences.
Many experiences.
Many experiences in my life. And since I was a little girl, I like to act.
Yes.
And the leading mode.
Yes.
And there I stand on the table, and I told my story.
Mm-hmm.
And people
in front of the family?
Yes.
For the family?
Yes.
Okay.
People in the street.
Okay, that too.
They pay a little candy or something.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that, so I'm hearing stuff for the first time too, folks. Go ahead, please. I'm interested.
I like it. And I was a writer.
But I've got to make a little attachment and an addition here. She loves being in the limelight. She loves being the centre of attention.
Yes, I like
That's
it.
not a bad thing, by the way, because you see her glow, you see her expand, you see her really shine when she does have that centre of attention. Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I had to share that.
Yes, you're all right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at school, I write many stories.
Short stories?
Short stories, and they like it. So since I was a little girl, I like to act and to write.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very quiet girl in the family.
Withdrawn, yeah.
Introvert. I live in my own world. I play with fairies since I was born, with gnomes.
Fairies, gnomes,
Gnomes.
The pixies, the elves.
Yes, and I talk with them. And last year there was my book.
Oh yeah.
Charlie's Adventures Behind the Rainbow, with gnome, wise nose, it was Ian.
Yeah. It was a little bit of our own life's journey and how we've experienced life, yeah. And it came to that point, but to take it back into the birth contract, yes, we've seen how you used to act and you used to like to be the centre point of attention. But I'm pretty sure that there have been other things that if you look back at your life, although you've been consciously aware all of your life, which is a different story to myself, but there are bound to be other points where you hadn't yet realised what your birth contract was, what your, if you will, complete goal. What other points have you?
At my age of 17, I started working as a doctor's assistant in a hospital.
Oh yeah, another beautiful one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And during 12 years, I worked with archives.
Yeah.
I always was interested in working with archives.
There you go.
To make a story of the things people told. To make an overzicht.
An overview.
An overview of people's life. I did it for my work. And then, when I was 28, I started working in an energy company.
Yeah.
And again, I started working with an archive. And I did the same.
So you were working with the archives again, keeping notes on
Yes.
the gas and electricity
Yes.
bills, the customers, all of that sort of thing.
I
Am I getting the picture right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So when somebody needs some information about a particular place, I can give it to
Or
him.
a particular client.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was always a very clear overview of the situation.
Okay, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that is exactly what I do now, since 5 years, in my practice.
Yeah.
Center for Inner Balance. I make an overview of
way back then, sorry for interrupting you, but way back then, in your own developing years, if you will, you could see a pattern that you were being prepared to register things,
yes.
to
organize,
absorb things, to start to put them in a neat pattern, in a neat order. And in looking back at that preparation period in your life, it was obviously a preparation for what you're doing now
yes.
in your own practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. And that's actually very, very true, because of course I know Marjo very well, and she is an absolutely awesome practitioner. If you ever need a healing session or a reading, or oh my goodness, she's wonderful at that with her guides. So I can certainly see how doing that in your past has led you to this moment and your work now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It brings me to a practitioner.
Practitioner, yeah.
Practitioner. I'm very have a good overview of many things people told me. Situations, papers, CDs, DVDs, everything is an overview. And that's a very strong part of my life. It's something about me. I'm very earthbound with these things.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another difference between you and I, isn't it? Whereas Marjo is definitely being very much here earthbound, very much involved in earthbound programs.
Mother Nature.
Learning Mother Nature, stuff like that, yeah. Actually, it's kind of a bit of a miracle that you and I came together, because I was very much, I'd rather be there
yes.
than here. I don't particularly like this earth life here. Well, actually, for a long time I didn't particularly like this earth life. There was a lot of resistance within me. So I was spacey. I was always out there in other universes, playing with the lords, ladies, with the masters.
I see something beautiful, because I always played here on earth with them.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, to bring us together and to combine these two things, obviously our purpose at a certain point in our journeys was to meet, to share the higher vibrational, spacey stuff and the earthbound vibrational stuff, and integrate them and bring them together. Yeah.
And that's another part of me, bring together.
Bringing together, yeah.
That's a part of my life. I always bring things together to a nice story.
To something that sounds right. Something that the pieces of the puzzle fit into place and you get the big picture. You're very good at that, yeah, yes. I know that, yeah, yeah.
And of course, I like, since I was a child, to acting on the stage, a leading role. And when we do things together, I'm really not nervous at all.
Which is quite comical, because it's not that long ago I remember an event in our lives that, well, you can imagine as well, me being kind of spacey here, difficulty on earth, being an earth being. There have been some times that I've been accused of being a serious old fart.
Yes.
Excuse me for using that term, but yes, I've been accused of being a serious old fart and being kind of, yeah. And Marjo, she's happy-go-lucky, she's bubbly, she's dancy, oh, I don't know, she's just delightful to watch. And when you brought your book out, we were actually launching your book, and you asked me, would you mind enacting a part of the book?
Yes.
Oh, well, you can imagine my first reaction.
No.
Yeah. But hey, Marjo is pretty persuasive, and she bought me a beard. She bought me a gnome's hat, and well, I kind of have the big belly already, so you know, it wasn't really difficult. And I don't know, there was something inside of me, and certainly her excitement, her bubbliness, it was, yeah, it touched me, and it sort of made me curious, and it sort of, well, maybe this might be fun. And we made a whole bunch of videos that day, of course, and it was, obviously it was in Dutch, they are in Dutch. But you can see how...
And feel.
Yeah, Ian the series so far, the gnome.
And the little rabbit, Charlotte.
And then Marjo's Charlotte. Yeah, what do we call that in English? But it doesn't matter. But yeah, she was definitely bubbly, bright, dancing, yeah,
singing,
elegant on the stage, singing, yeah, all of that sort of stuff, and it touched me, and the audience just absolutely loved us.
So, I have the same as you with your words.
I
do it with my body language.
With your body language,
with my uitstraling.
Yeah, your presence.
Yes.
Yeah, your presence, yeah. And again, that's coming from a pattern of your youth, your growing up, and you're now actually embodying it, but for a new purpose.
Yes. So
you've learned and discovered what your soul's purpose is here.
And yes, I see something very, I want to share it with the people. In my childhood. Yes, en het kinderlijk zijn.
Being a child.
In saying some very intense, deep, difficult stuff we want to share with people.
Yeah.
I can tell it in
a kind of childlike way, in a way that's that everybody can understand us. I mean, we could sit here and we could verbalize it in such a way that at a certain point nobody would really understand us because they think we were cuckoo, because they wouldn't be able to grasp from, if you will, the expensive words, the difficult words. And we both have this talent to be able to play with words in such a way that everybody can grasp what it is we're talking about. Even though we have the language barrier, if you will, you with your English, learning English now, so that we can bring this out to the world, our talents, our gifts, because we can bring it forth in such a simplistic, easy to understand way. This is something else that we were both trained for in our youth, to be down to earth, straightforward, understandable.
On stage.
Yeah.
Teachers. It's one of the things I want to do in my life, to be a teacher.
We are that already, sweetie.
But then at school.
Okay, all right. No.
Many people ask Ian, is she a teacher?
Yeah, but well, actually, yeah, you do kind of carry the energy of a teacher, yeah.
Yes.
Well, sweetie, having said that, yeah, no, not at school, because life is our school.
Yes.
And our audience are our students. So in a way, we've chosen a very, very, very big school.
And I have a beautiful soul contract. And I like it.
And we have a mutual, and we discovered that too, a mutual soul contract.
Yes.
And that's developed wonderfully as well. And maybe someday we will make a merged soul agreement contract with each other. But that's for another day.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your birth contract.
Thank you. And I hope you understand me, us.
I think that went pretty
okay.
well. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to Marjo's story of her birth contract. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.